you don't need much stuff to get rocking and rolling.
No.
So let's assume we're past that. We've now got leads coming in. We're generating some cash. And we want the business to feel a wee bit more professional and a bit more organised. So we're not scratting around in our own business in terms of an admin sense. What systems do you recommend?
Oh, well, are we talking about the systems that we would recommend, or are we talking about the more generalised kind of what do we think that support looks like?
Well, the question was, what systems would you recommend?
Would I recommend? So we talk a little bit within this podcast about CRM systems. So that stands for Customer Relation Manager. That's correct, isn't it? I always forget what it means. Customer Relation Manager is basically your storage portal and the ability to automate, to hold information, to hold data, to track it, isn't it? So like if you're sending emails from a CRM system as opposed to like an email provider, you can see whether somebody's received it, you can see whether they've opened it, you can see whether they've clicked on a link. It gives you a bit more insight and their data is held in there. You can send mass emails from there. You can automate emails off of there. Some of them you can even create courses and websites and things like that. It depends what you're looking for.
You can tag people and put them in certain
yes, you
segments.
can categorise them into certain areas. So depending on what they have clicked on, you may then segment them into a certain area and go like, I'm going to email all these people that clicked on this thing, and it just makes everything a little bit simpler in terms of that. Now, should we go back to the dog business and talk about the benefits of using it in that? Because you used Keep, which is our brand partner for the conference we're very excited about. So we didn't utilise all of the features within it, but there were certain things that really worked.
Yeah, so I'd got to that stage in my business where I was generating enough inquiries and enough sales that for me I felt like it warranted looking a bit more professional, which was the genuine reason I wanted that system. It wasn't that it was going to make my life any easier, because it was ticking over. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was working.
And actually, I think this is the bit that maybe the disconnect bit. There weren't that many clients that I think a lot of people go to, well, I've got that many clients coming in now, I need to not control them, but I need to a way to streamline everything. But that wasn't the case, was it?
No.
So we've got a manageable amount of clients still. It's not that we're feeling overwhelmed with the amount of people coming in. It's doable in the old way still.
Yeah.
It's just that improvement from that customer perspective way.
Yeah. I was at that point where I was feeling like a proper business owner instead of a dog trainer. Arguably, I was still a dog trainer, but I was starting to feel more confident in my ability as a business owner. And with that, you could say a bit of imposter syndrome and all of that crept in, but in the sense of I didn't feel like I was operating in a professional sense in terms of the systems and how it was potentially coming across. Like, for me, at that stage when I'd got it to that point, sending an email off of
a Hotmail account or something.
Yeah. Like joe@yahoo.com is a bit shit.
Yeah.
It didn't feel right anymore. But I can't give you a tangible of, I hit this exact number of clients before I felt that. It was just a natural progression into going, it just feels a bit shit now, is how I felt.
Yeah. And by the way, just a caveat, you can just buy a domain and have an email and not have a CRM system that is .co.uk or whatever.
Yeah. But then I went and I was at a conference and I'd seen Keep speak, and they were...
Keep all of Keep?
Keep speak.
Keep of the company.
Yes, Keep.
The organisation.
KEAP. I'd seen them speak, and then they had a little exhibition booth, and I was like, I feel like this is what I need, I don't feel like I'm ready for all of it right now, but of course it was a storming offer.
Of course.
And I was like, I need this in my life. So I invested in it, and I would say for the first few weeks I was like,
yeah, a bit overwhelmed with all the stuff.
What do I do here? I haven't got a Scooby-Doo. So I had a little play around with it and I fell in love with it.
I think actually something I missed out when I was describing what a CRM system is, the appointment creation and the reminders and all of that is, I think for me, that's the biggest difference and forward facing, that somebody would get an appointment created and a reminder and emails about it and stuff like that. So that was probably one of the biggest benefits.
Oh my God, it was just huge. And just knowing that I had a system that, I mean, at the time, I didn't really know what I wanted it for other than to feel more professional.
Improve the experience.
Yeah.
Somehow.
So then when I started using it, it did have that appointment ability. And again, at the time, it was a bit of a mindset shift because I was like, how is this going to work? Because in dog trainer mode, I am going out to people's homes. If they book an appointment in my diary, like if they have control, then they could log on and go, oh, Joe's free between, I don't know, say 11 and 3 on a Monday. I'm going to book the 12 o'clock slot. I'm like, that's going to be a pain in the ass because now nobody can have any time before that. So I never wanted the client to have that control. So,
and also they might live somewhere, then you've got a later appointment, you've got to go back to that area and it doesn't work logistically.
Yeah. So I did struggle with that initially. And I think, again, it's a mindset thing of how are you going to use the systems, because there's pros and cons to all. There's benefits and costs on everything that you do. But having the ability to mold the system to how you want it to work as well. But that's what I really liked about Keep. It was simple enough that I could just take over that element of it, so it wasn't a problem. So I'd still manage the client in the exact same way that I'd done historically. Like, here's my availability. You tell me where you live. Definitely too much management on my part because it was, I'm going to control everything, but it's what I needed at the time.
Yeah.
And
for example, if you were a dog groomer, you're in one place, then you could hand that over to the client to book because there doesn't need to be as much of a buffer and you're not moving location. So I guess it's very different for each particular business owner, isn't it?
And I want to heavily reiterate again, there is not one system out there that does everything well.
We can categorize between us. We've pretty much used every sort of CRM type system going, every customer relation system going. Mm-hmm. I would say we've probably covered most bases with it, really.
Yeah.
And there's always something that isn't quite.
Yeah, because they're all sold that they're the jack of all, aren't they? They can do the all singing or dancing, but it's that master of none, and it feels a bit shit on it, which is why we have two systems.